Yo. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing amazing. In this video, we're going to be breaking down Novak Djokovic versus Alexander Zverev in a 2024 practice. And we're getting straight into the point play, going straight into it. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Chase Arevalo. I coached at IMG Academy. I was a director at the Rick Macy Tennis Academy at 21 years old. And I've worked with players such as Lulu Sun, who's top 50 in the WTA currently. And yeah, so I played D1 tennis at Georgia Southern University. And yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get straight into it. And yeah, if you do not get any value out of this video, I would just tell you, do not like the video, do not subscribe to the channel, and definitely don't drop a comment. Okay? If you got some value, feel free to do those things though. All right. And yeah, hope you have an amazing rest of your day, guys. Let's get into this. Gotta drink your water also. Hydrate. So notice how Zverev takes a jump. He just jumped into his split step. Split steps. Notice how he loads his right leg. Notice how aggressively he's actually loading his right leg here. Like, pay attention to that, guys. Okay? He pushes off his right leg. All right? Notice how his left hand is just now letting go of the racket. Okay? Now he pushes off the right, push off the right, contact, right? So notice he just made contact with the ball, and notice how his feet aren't even really on the ground. They're like not even on the ground, right? There's no weight with his feet on the ground right now. He just jumped basically, okay? Good recovery step from Zverev. So now let's pay attention to Djokovic here. So he gets the short ball. He takes a step to the side to just get as much space as he can away while keeping open stance. Rips to the other side. Realizes Zverev's opening the racket, gonna hit a slice or with one hand. Djokovic comes in. It's a placement shot. Just place it to the other side. Wow. Interesting decision there to go to that corner. I guess he did that. He wanted to extend the rally, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear, right? Like, why go to that side? But let me know what you guys think about that. Wait, look at that shoulder turn from Zverev. Look how much he's turning his shoulders, guys. Like, you can look at a lot of things like, oh, this guy's got a great serve, he can hit this shot well, but look at how he turns his shoulders. You're not doing this right now on your shot. And that's a big problem. You gotta turn more. The reason why I say that is because it's something free, easy, that you can do, and it's fully within your control. You can do it right now. You just have to actively think about it and have somebody, one of your coaches, an expert you trust, have them help you with applying that onto your frame, okay?
Whoa.
So I'm not saying it's why he's missing the shot, but look. Look at his shoulders. Notice how they're kind of like this, or like this rather, for your angle. They're kind of more tilted, right? So kind of with tilting your shoulders like that, you're just not going to be as level, and it's going to kind of change the stroke mechanics a little bit. Very small detail though.
So you can, no, you cannot. Yeah, I thought you can on the cameras.
No, depend of the lens. So this one I cannot zoom, but that's
But
better.
still, like the picture are better, no?
No, I think it's even better than the one you can zoom.
Notice how he keeps the forehand grip here. He's not bailing to the slice, which I love. He's keeping the forehand grip. He's going to rip the forehand good.
Oh yeah.
So there, if possible, you just want to get it cross court. Okay? You just want to go cross court there because if you go line, Djokovic will be able to hit it pretty easy winner cross court on a approach shot. Versus if you go cross court here and you're in this position recovery wise, Djokovic, yes, he'll still be able to hit an aggressive shot, even an approach shot, but he won't be able to hit an easy winner cross court, most likely. And he'll probably have to be going down the line, which angle wise will be a lot easier for you as Zverev to recover this way. So there's a few dynamics there, but it's important to understand kind of why these things occur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just a very difficult position to be in recovery wise because you want to recover this way, but at the same time, you don't want to overcommit. So your body's going in the opposite direction there. It's tough. Again, chest angle pointing up. Why haven't your coaches told you about the chest angle? That's my question. Notice he pushes off the right leg, makes contact, then the left leg touches there. Technically speaking, that's what happened. So be aware of it. Notice, you see right there that last little move, he just pushed up from the ground, and as he's going up, his chest is going up into the sky. So that's one thing that Alexander Zverev does on his serve that gets him to be able to hit it with tremendous power, hitting it 130, 140, right? Notice he's bouncing the ball like a million times, right? He's going through his routine, helps him get focused. And with different players, they need different amounts of time, right? So figure out what works for you. Your job is to experiment, figure out what works for you, what helps you get focused. And sometimes, look, there's different scenarios in the match. Maybe sometimes you want a little bit more time, bounce the ball a few more times, right? But let's continue. Look at how stacked his shoulders are with his elbow. So shoulder, shoulder, elbow. Stacked on top of each other. Notice, so Zverev, his right elbow is really long, pause, but it's basically straight there, right? But his left elbow is bent, okay? So his right elbow is basically straight, almost fully straight, okay? And his left elbow has a lot of bend for him, okay? Now, when he hits, notice the length of his left elbow. Right now it's bent. Look at his left elbow here. It's completely straight. It's undeniable that his left elbow is straight here. So what that does is when you go from a bent elbow to a more extended elbow and you externally rotate your shoulder at the same time, That's what's going to allow you to kind of flip the racket down and back into that slot position. Okay, from the left hand standpoint. With the right hand, you're going to be kind of more pulling forward with your elbow, your right elbow, as straight as possible. Okay, when you're starting the stroke. But yeah, so that will help you kind of flip the racket down faster. And when you brush over the ball, when you kind of turn over and internally rotate that shoulder, that's what kind of will help you expedite that speed with the racket. Pushes off the right foot, makes contact, and the left foot touches. Wow, good drop shot there. Let's see. So, Zverev hit a solid shot there. Djokovic had a lot of different options on the menu there. He's Djokovic, so he can do that. But for most players, I would say you probably don't have every option on the menu from that position. You have a lot of options on the menu for sure. But for most players, if they're this far behind the baseline, you're probably not going to want to hit a drop shot in general from that position. You still can, right? But it's going to be a lot harder execution-wise. So make sure you're practicing a lot of drop shots if you're going to be going for that shot, all right? Yep, we broke that down in the last video. By the way, guys, what shot do you need to improve in your own game? What's that one shot that if you improved it, your level would go up?
Watching these guys practice shows you how good they are.
Okay, so I think one thing Zverev could do here is, because that ball was so short, in my opinion, bro, why not go up a little bit more into the court if you can? Right? If possible. But let's see what he does. That's still a crazy good shot. I mean, for most people, that's going to be like a forehand winner. But Djokovic barely got there. But now he's got an overhead. So notice, he's placing the shot to the other side, right? He's not trying to kill the ball. Most players, they go up, they see it, and they try to smack it as hard as they can. That's overrated. It's not going to help you. Just place the shot. Place it, and then you can get better at placing it. And you can place it faster and faster and faster. It's also going to help you develop a smoother overhead and a serve motion as well, right? So don't try to just crush it every single time.
Enjoy, bro.
Notice how Zverev keeps his left hand on the racket until the ball bounces, and then when he lets go, he keeps his shoulders turned and his left arm is completely straight and parallel with the baseline. Okay, and his left palm is facing the back fence. Okay, his shoulders are turned a lot. His right elbow is up rather than being down so much. Taking his time on his serve. But do you see how long he's keeping his left hand on the racket there? Like, most players are just letting go of the racket, trying to take it back early. That's what most players do. But notice, his left palm is facing the back fence. Look at where Zverev is landing. Look at where Zverev is landing. He's landing one step only inside the court. He pushes off the right foot.
Who's coming in the driveway?
He jumps up into the split step, he lands, puts his weight immediately on the left leg because he realizes going to my backhand. He pushes off, he makes contact in that order. First push off the left leg, then make contact. Left elbow's completely straight at contact. Then his right foot touches down in front of his body. So look, even though Djokovic hit a great volley, won the point, all that, it's like pay attention to what Zverev did well there because you can copy that for yourself, okay? That's it for this video, guys. If you got any value out of this video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, comment any question you have so that you can improve your own tennis game as well.
Wish I was 8 years old to give me an autograph.
That's a weird thing for this guy to say. I wish I was 8 years old so this guy could give me an autograph. That's wild. That's a crazy thing to say. Hydration, critical. So look, pay attention to Zverev's backhand here. So notice how extended his elbows are as he's turning his hips to hit the ball, right? Look at the length of his arms here, okay? And at contact, let me try to do it better there so I can show you. So as you can see there, his backhand, he keeps his elbows really extended. So one thing that you can kind of start to correct on your backhand is figure out from this point in your backhand to contact, are your arms relatively going to be in the same angle that they are, like right here, okay? Because at this point, his left elbow goes from bent to straight. And then what I'm talking about is from then on, as your hands are going from behind your left hip to going near the ball to make contact, are your elbows going to stay relatively straight or whatever angle you have set? I recommend getting them more straight though, because that's something that if you're looking on, okay, how can I kind of tweak one thing on my backhand to make it cleaner? And like you might feel like you're not striking the ball like clean, like just actually striking the ball wise, then look to get longer arms, okay? A lot of times starting with younger athletes, you might even correct the player to start with their racket pointing to the back fence with their elbows completely straight out, okay? So with younger athletes learning to strike the ball better and kind of more correctly, you're gonna want to get them to lengthen their arms that way and build those foundational habits, all right? So if you haven't experimented with that, highly recommend doing so. Zverev did a great job keeping that ball low. So Djokovic went cross-court approach shot here. Now, in general, what's the rule, right? I'm going to go cross-court if I can hit a winner. If not, I'm going to go down the line on the approach. So, look, Djokovic could have potentially won that point, but he did kind of break that rule there, right? And also, it's like you're hitting a slice. So, he knew he wasn't going to hit a winner on that. But I think the equation here is maybe he's considering, wait, if I go down the line here, Zverev can just run over and then rip a forehand on the run cross-court winner. So potentially, maybe in his mind, he's like, well, I would rather him just beat me with his backhand, which he did. However, if I'm Djokovic and I'm playing Zverev, what's going to be easier for him to execute? A stationary backhand, either down the line or cross court from stationary position, or a forehand on the run. I think I would weigh the movement thing a lot with Zverev. The fact that he's kind of taller, he moves okay, right? He's fast, but he's not one of the fastest, I would say, right? Maybe doesn't have the best footwork on the tour, potentially, right? So I would factor that into the equation. So there, it's just like if you're Djokovic, go down the line, all right? Great job getting the ball back deep. Djokovic hit it back deep as well. You can do that. But, like, is that a high percentage ball? Djokovic hit a good shot there. What I think is, if on your backhand side you have to do like a lot of movement, like you're hitting the ball where you're taking a lot of adjustment steps, kind of like on the run a little bit, my recommendation default would be open stance. Like, even if you're going to change direction, I think it's more athletic to be a little bit more open in your stance, and it will stabilize your body in a better way when you rotate. So that's what I would recommend, even if he wants to change direction there. Notice he went cross court on the swing volley because he could hit a winner. Great jump up from Zverev going into the split step. He jumped up to go down into the split step. He jumped up to go down into the split step. Pushed off the right foot, made contact, then the left foot touches the ground. Copy that for yourself on your return. Goes through his whole serve routine. Notice, he goes through his whole serve routine. He's not rushing himself, even in practice. Notice the width of Djokovic's stance. Not saying you have to do it exactly like this, but it should resemble this more so, right? His knees are apart like this. His ankles are relatively under his knees. Notice Novak Djokovic keeps his left hand on the throat of the racket until he lets go. Okay? After he lets go, he maintains his shoulders turned. Okay? And his left arm is completely parallel with the baseline. Those are checkpoints that you can also copy for yourself on your forehand to make sure that you're hitting all the right checkpoints that the ATP players are hitting. Serve out wide. Wow. It's crazy how Djokovic was able to keep it low. Actually, that ball was way above the net height there. Still a good shot though. notice how he kind of stomps his left leg down. Notice how he's pressing it down to get extra power, extra force, stabilizing his body at contact as he rips through the ball.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need Batman. Stop.
Notice how Novak Djokovic jumps up and forward for his split step. So he gets momentum forward and momentum going down to give him energy pushing off wherever he goes. Goes to his backhand. So notice his aggressive shin angle here. This is the same shin angle you'll see on somebody like Kyrie Irving when they're doing a crossover in basketball. Okay, aggressive shin angle, also similar in sprinting. Okay, pushing to the side, pushes off the left foot, now makes contact. Notice he makes contact and then the right foot touches down. Okay, so yes, he hits a good shot, but it's like the footwork is what you can also replicate. Okay, replicate. Wide split step. He's balanced, but gets his weight on his left leg, pushes off, makes contact. Notice none of his feet are even on the ground right now. Then his right foot touches the ground after. That's the correct timing. Notice his racket's on the left side of his body the whole time as he's striking. When he prepares, he's never taking it back behind the hitting side. Even on his forehand, his racket stays on the right side of his body the whole time throughout his whole preparation. It's never going back behind the hitting side. Okay? When he's preparing on his slice, notice how his strings are facing more up. And when you go to the ball, notice how he's preparing like this, very flat like this. So if you're learning how to hit a slice, you can duplicate that and replicate that by starting with your strings facing up like this, and then your elbow up, and then going straight to the ball. Okay, that's a great foundational way to learn how to hit a slice.
Look where we are.
By the way, subscribe to the channel. It's a lot of bounces. Let's see how much energy Djokovic has in his split step here. Okay guys, so that's it for this particular video. If you have any questions for me at all, I'm happy to answer them. Drop them in the comments below. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.